Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Mr. Connor R. Sullivan coming at you with some practice tips and performance advice for the GMEA High School Symphonic Band, grades 11 through 12, Euphonium Lyrical Etude for the 2024-2025 school year. I hope you find this video useful and helpful in your practice, and best of luck to you on your audition. All right, let's get started. Now, the first thing you always want to look at when reading an etude like this is what's in the top left of the music here. We have Andante cantabile, eighth note equals 86, 3/8 time, 2 sharps in the key signature, and the word dolce. Now, if you don't know what Andante cantabile means, it's as simple as this. Andante means slow, like at a walking pace, and cantabile means in a singing style. So think of it as if you were a vocalist singing through this etude. What would be the phrasing in the musical approach? Andante cantabile, slow and singing. And dolce means sweetly, to play it expressively as if this were kind of like a lullaby, right? All right, next we have 3/8 time. If you've never seen 3/8 before, here's a quick crash course. Don't think too hard about it, but all it is 3/4, but the note values are cut in half. So most 8 time signatures are triple meter, like 6/8, 9/8, 12/8, etc., where the beat is cut into 3 subdivisions of eighths, where the dotted quarter note gets the beat. But in this case, 3/8 is going to be a duple meter, where the beat is cut into 2 subdivisions of sixteenths, with the 8th note getting the beat. So the opening rhythm should feel as if it was half note, quarter note, half note, quarter note, half note, 3/8, 16th, half note, etc. in 3/4. I'll write that out here. I hope that makes sense. And finally, 2 sharps means we're in the key of D major. Now, if you're not sure how to figure out the key, one easy trick is just to look at your scales and see what scale matches the key of your etude, and voila, your key is D. This means we have F sharp and C sharp, and every other note is natural unless otherwise notated. Now, there's another way of figuring out how to find the key with any key signature, but I won't go over that right now in this video. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in. Now, let's get into the music some more. I always encourage my students to identify patterns, similarities, and think more deeply about music than just what the notes and rhythms are. For example, are there any places where the music resembles a scale or an arpeggio? Any intervals that repeat, or do any themes appear multiple times? Looking for these things, 1, makes the etude less intimidating after the first glance. 2, allows you to make musical decisions based on these repeated themes, scales, motifs, etc. And 3, it makes the etude more interesting, and it helps give more of a performance mindset in your preparation. Now, let's talk about the time signature, 3/8. In every time signature, there are strong and weak beats, and sometimes there can be beats that aren't quite strong beats, but not really weak beats either. In the case of 3/8, we have beat 1, beat 2, and beat 3. Beat 1 is going to be a strong beat, as is the case with pretty much every time signature. Beat 2 is going to be a weak beat. And although you might think 3 is another weak beat, it's actually more of a medium strong beat. The reason it's not a weak beat like beat 2 is because we want to think of it as leading through the end of the measure to the next strong beat 1. Think of a waltz, which is a faster dance in 3, where we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, where that third beat always leads to the next measure. Even at a slow tempo of 86, we can think of the music in this way, and that'll help you stand out in the audition room. Now, as far as dynamics and musicality goes, there's a good bit already provided on the page that tells us where the highs and lows are. For example, we have this mezzo forte here, which tells us the climax of the entire etude. The highest dynamic happens here, so we must demonstrate that in our playing. I also encourage you to keep the air going the whole time with these long phrases and slur markings. Only take breaths in these places, and maybe a quick breath here if needed. But for the rest of the time, really focus on connected notes with the air behind your sound always. I would also recommend recording yourself often in your practice. Whether you have the best mic ever or record from your phone's mic, it really doesn't matter as long as you're listening to yourself frequently. And if the dynamic contrast and musicality is coming through on the recordings clearly, they will definitely come across to the judges too. My final bit of advice to you is to start by practicing this etude slowly and focusing on accuracy in all ways. You'll be judged on tone quality, technique, rhythmic accuracy, articulation/style, dynamics/phrasing, and interpretation/tempo. So it's important to make sure you're not only playing the etude in time and with the right rhythms, but that the tone is the best quality for every note, and the phrasing works, and all these details have to be there in order to have a successful audition. If you put in the time during your practice sessions to perfect every aspect of this etude, you'll be proud of the work you put into it, be rewarded with the satisfaction of a good practice, and hopefully with a position in the honor band, maybe even advancing to the next round for the all-state audition. I think that's about everything I have time for in this video, but if you'd like some more in-depth practice methods and advice, let me know in the comments. I might be able to put out some more videos with more specific commentary if there's interest. Thanks for watching, and I hope you find this video useful and helpful in your preparation for the audition. Happy practicing, and I'll see you on the next one.